let's go ahead and start up. Priyanka, I'll turn it over to you and I'll mute myself and let you know when there's any questions.
Okay. Hello, everyone. This is Priyanka Dubasi. And I'm in the Epicor world since it's close to 9 years now. I work as a Epicor developer / consultant. I'm from Michigan, and I think Fred and Calvin like me enough to just allow me to work remotely. So I just work from home in Michigan. So today we're going to be looking at the Kinetic Dashboards. I've been working in Kinetic since almost close to, I think more than a year now. So I've been doing a lot of Kinetic stuff lately. Before that, I've been working on Epicor 10 majorly, a little bit on 9 and 8 also. So yeah. Should we start presenting, Fred, or do you still want me to wait a couple more minutes?
Oh, go ahead and go with it. Start
Okay.
off with your whole gig here.
Okay. So I'm going to turn off my video now so that I just don't keep looking at myself and concentrate on the presentation. This is my first webinar, so I'm a little nervous. So if I'm like stumbling, just ignore it. But yeah, let me get started. Let me give a brief. So we're going to talk mainly about the Kinetic dashboards, how to uplift classic dashboards into Kinetic screen and all that. I just have a little kind of like a summary of what we are going to do today. And we're going to first talk about BAQs. I mean, like, we're not really going to go in depth about BAQs and the classic dashboards, but let's just create a basic BAQ and a classic dashboard and try to uplift it into Kinetic. And the way this is done, and if anyone have any questions, just keep asking away and we'll try to answer as much as we can. And let's talk about some differences between these dashboards and classic and Kinetic, how to add them to the menu, and how different the trackers are in classic versus Kinetic also. So let's go ahead, and I'm in 2023.1, and this is where we're going to create our BAQ and the classic dashboard and try to uplift it into Kinetic. So,
Good, Priyanka. One quick question from Ben. Will you be showing graphs and charts in the dashboard or just straight data for this demo?
So yeah, I was going to talk about that when we uplift. The main thing right now is even if we have these graphs, the gauges and all that in the classic dashboard, right now they're not straight away uplifted into Kinetic. So I mean, like, we are going to try to create something like, you know, basic on the classic dashboard, and I can show you how it's not yet uplifted onto Kinetic. So yeah, that we're really not going to actually be able to show it on Kinetic right now.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
So I'm going to start by creating a basic BAQ. I don't want to talk much about what a BAQ is and all that, but mainly a BAQ is just like an easier way for us to write. Instead of writing a SQL query, Epicor gave us this really easy way to create one. So even if I'm new to SQL and I don't know how to write a SQL query, this is mainly like a UI based. So you just drag and drop the tables in here, provide the links and all that. So mostly whatever query is generated here, you can mostly copy paste it into SQL and see the same results too. So let's create something like maybe a customer screen. And I'm just gonna put a customer table here. and then put in the display fields, whatever you need. I'm going through the first part really quickly because like I don't want to spend more time on how to create a BAQ and things like that. So and then we get our query selected, query generated here. So we have our customer BAQ here, and then let's create a really simple query for maybe like orders. I'm just putting in the order head table here. So we have our two queries ready now, the customer query and the customer orders query. Let's go ahead and create a simple dashboard now. Well, Fred, can you see why I got kicked off?
Yeah, there shouldn't have been a,
Okay, yeah, okay, I'm back now.
there you go. Okay.
And then let's include the queries that we just added in our dashboard. Yes. Then maybe like publish our customer ID, name. We have a lot of videos available out there on our YouTube channel. If like anyone is not aware of how to create a dashboard and all that, so I'm not really including all that in my session. That's why. Okay, and now let's include our other query for orders. It wasn't saved, that's why. Let's include these columns. Media order date and note. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little filter here. So that we see only the orders for that corresponding customer. Okay, we can try to deploy our dashboard. So this way we have a small dashboard here. It's a really basic dashboard where we're just doing the customers and the orders for them. And once we click on any of the customer, we see all the orders for that customer here. And then I want to show how adding a filter also looks like on the Kinetic version. So let's go ahead and add a filter here. And then, so in our filter, whatever name we are trying to find, we get the customer and their related orders down here. So okay, I'm really not going to move this because that's not my main thing to really modify the classic dashboard. So we're good here. Let's go ahead and convert this. And I also wanted to add maybe a page here just to show how it does not uplift. This is our customers whose name starts with D. Then these are our orders for Dalton, and in our gauge view, we are able to see the order amount that is being displayed here when we select on order. So now comes the main thing that most of our clients have been asking about, how to uplift them into Kinetic and things like that. So let's go ahead, and when we do a deployed dashboard here, we get this additional thing over here which says application and preview or generate application. On some, I don't remember which version, but I also saw that they had this button being called as Kinetic preview or something like that. I think in the next version they removed it because now I'm not able to see the word Kinetic over here. But if we have to uplift this into Kinetic, all we have to do is generate application here. Let's go ahead and preview it first. So this is how our dashboard looks on the Kinetic environment. We also have our filters uplifted here, which can be seen here in Tracker. If I go ahead and try to search a name here, maybe starting with BA something. We can see that the filter is applied here. Our customer name starting with BA comes up over here, and then the corresponding orders and all that come up here. But you can see how the gauge that we created did not get uplifted here. So that is like one of the main things or problems that right now still exists is charts, gauges, the customizations and all that are there's no way like we can directly uplift them. I know like right now I've seen a lot of them, they have heavily customized dashboards and all that, so that is still like maybe Epicor is gonna do that in later point of time, I don't know, but right now there's no way that we can directly uplift them onto Kinetic. But having said that, what we can do is once we have our dashboard generated in Kinetic, we can then go ahead and then customize it however we want it to, just like we've been doing it on the classic version. So this one right here is important because this is what we're gonna go ahead and put in our menu for the dashboard to come up. First, we need to generate our application. We just did a preview previously. So let's generate application. So, and then I'm going to go ahead and add this on my menu so that I can directly open it from there. Let me just add it maybe somewhere like here, the status dashboards. I'll just add a new. And then we need to change this to Kinetic app. And then all we have to do is go ahead and search for our for the dashboard that just got generated. Since I already have that copied, I'll try to paste it here. You can see that it's available here. Then go ahead. And let me log out and back in. And then we should be able to see our dashboard that just got generated here. So now let's talk about some of the main questions that I've been getting are like, how in the way that the look and feel is on the classic dashboard, like, people may have had the filters right here, and then based on that, like whatever they select in the filter, based on that, they want the other grids to be populated and all that, and then they had the charts and all that also over here. So right now the look and feel is a little different, and maybe we are not able to replicate it exactly like the way that it used to look on the classic version. But this is how most of the Kinetic UI looks, and I think we need to start getting accustomed to how Kinetic forms look like, instead of trying to go ahead and change the whole thing. Let's I think we need to start getting accustomed to this kind of forms. So like, how the way sorry, not this one. Like we have our filters over here, sorry, our trackers over here. We can select whatever we want here. So this is how it looks like, but if we want to go ahead and customize this, we can do that directly from this Kinetic form, instead of having our customized classic form being uplifted. We know that that's not going to work right now. So like I've had few questions where they wanted to put in a filter here, and based on that, instead of going to the filters here, we wanted to put that over here. So what we can do is we can open App Studio and go ahead and customize our Kinetic dashboard the way we want. So let's do a simple customization here. And I don't want to talk about the basics of how to use an App Studio and all that also, because we already have a couple of videos out there on our channel of how that is done. So let's see. So what I want to do now is I want to go ahead and add a field here, which would help me filter out my results down here. So for that, what I want to do is add in a simple text box. And then I'm going to bind it to TransView. And then just like a refresh button, we can add a refresh button here too. And on click of this button, I want to filter out my underlying grid down there. So what I would like to do is on click of that, I'm going to just refresh my BAQ here. I think the first BAQ was called, what was it called, customer something. Yeah, customer. And then the view, we can find the view from the grid model. We can find out the view grid model and then go to provider model. And then we know this is the binding for the grid. So go ahead and add that here. Then we also have options here. Is it just are we just trying to execute this BAQ, or are we also trying to update it? So we have two options for that, get and update here. Then clause, I'm going to include the field name.
The customer number or name?
Okay. So now let's try to preview this. So now if I don't want to go here and execute that tracker, what I want to do is, since I gave my condition as equal to, so right now I need to include the whole name. Start on. That's correct. And then I have the view name also. So this one equals to this. I had this done before the presentation and everything worked fine. So let's go ahead and let me see.
Would it be full customer name or is it the abbreviated cust name for your filter?
For my filter, I had this as customer name equals to. Let me try another name and see. Like if I do No, something in my condition does not look right. I had this exact same thing done before our presentation and everything looked to work fine. Of course, it had to fail now during my presentation, but.
That's the benefit of live demos.
So let me see why I did on button click. Yes, I have the exact same thing going on here. And
transview.name instead of cuss name.
but that maybe that was what I put up here. I had put up transview.name here, that's why. And then when I go ahead and do something here. Oh, I've been doing okay, I know what I've been doing wrong. Sorry, okay. Okay, I know what I've been doing wrong. I've been trying to find it on the ID instead of the name. That's why. So this is the name, and yeah. Okay. So I should have just done something like starts with or something like that. But since I gave the condition as customer name equal to, that's why we had to give the whole name over here. Instead, we should have just filtered out on the customer ID. But anyways, so this is how we can, if we want to kind of like replicate what we've been doing in Classic and do it the same way here, we can kind of customize our dashboard layer and then try to put in whatever we want here, like, include in any fields that we would like to have here for filtering purposes. I think the good part is, even if we know that we are not able to directly uplift, the good part is we can just recreate this on our App Studio and get this done with. I know it's like additional time and all that, but if we want it to work, if we want the dashboards to work, then we at least have a way to get them going. So I also wanted to show one of the one of the other questions that we got during, like, I've been giving Kinetic dashboard presentations, and some of the questions that we've been getting is how do we highlight the rows or the columns
If you hold
that
up
we
a
used
second,
to do.
Priyanka,
Yeah, okay. Sure,
got a couple
yeah,
questions for you.
Okay, yeah,
So
go ahead.
with the text box and the button that you're doing, we've got a question from Mike. Is the tracker section then just kind of not serving any purpose, or is that tracker section still usable?
So the tracker is still usable because, like, we can still use it from here. But if you don't want to go into this thing and then call the tracker here and all that, then I would say just let's just remove that and put in whatever fields we want here on the customization thing. But like, if you don't want this additional customization happening and all that, and if you're fine with using the tracker this way, then we can still use it that way.
So
Like, whatever fields we have here.
Yeah, the tracker in the middle, you have to actually use the call out on the side or the slide out to get it to be functional.
Yeah, there's no way that we can use that directly from here, but in Kinetic we have to call the tracker and use it this way. Like, even if we put up any filters on our Classic dashboard, there's no way that we can directly enter something here and do it, but the actual the slide out, it pops up, and this is where we have to give our filter information and all that.
Okay. And then Hannah's got a question also about the tracker view. She was saying you can initialize the fields on load, and then they work like Classic does. Just set the where clause in the BAQ in the provider model. Is that something you're familiar with?
Okay.
Otherwise,
Okay, so we can just directly do it here then. Can you repeat what you said, Fred?
let me unmute Hannah since she's done that.
Okay.
Maybe she can provide us some more insights here. Really, I'm close to Hannah. Where'd you go, Hannah? There you are. Hannah, you're unmuted if you want to unmute yourself. There you are. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so essentially what you do is first you have to initialize the fields on form load so that they actually enable themselves and you can type into it. It's similar to what the reset button does. And then you set up that where list that you've got down there to be the field. So you do like, yeah, exactly like that. And you set them to be each tracker field. So when you tab out of that field, it will refresh your BAQ similar to how Classic works.
Okay, so we can change this here and you're saying we can do it. Okay, I've not tried that out, but thank you for that. Let me try that out and do that.
So if you want to do it like right now, you could take
Okay,
that
yeah, sure.
customer O2 customer ID field, create an event that fires after form onload, and then do a row update to set that value to just blank. And that will unlock the field in the tracker view down there, and then you can type in there.
Okay, so here, I'm gonna remove this up here. This whole thing you want me to remove here, right? The value?
No, leave that there. We're going to create a new event, but copy that field because you want to know what it is. And then set the trigger to be after, or event after. Type as event.
Oops.
And then do form onload. And then do a row update. And then set the binding to that field you copied, and then set the value to just 2 empty quotes.
Okay.
So that should initialize the field when the form loads. Now you should be able to type into that. And when you type something and tab out of that field, it should refresh your BAQ.
Okay, let's try that out.
Oh, and it didn't work. Live demos, right?
It never fails.
Did I miss out?
Go-
Did I miss out?
Go
one
into
step?
the tracker panel and actually verify that that's what that field is bound to. On the customer order dashboard panel, not the slide out. So click the name down below in the center panel, the tracker one.
Oh, okay, here, this one. Okay.
Yeah, you're just looking at the data binding. Oh, see, it's 0-1.
Oh, okay.
And then you'll have to modify the where list to be 0-1 because I think it said 0-2.
Okay.
I typically make my own data view for these because the 0 underscore whatevers get really confusing after a while.
Mm-hmm. Oops.
And then in the provider model, make sure to update the where clause. Not on your button.
No, not on this one. Okay, yeah.
On the grid, yeah. Yep, the grid up above. Yep, that one. Good. Grid model, provider model. And then BAQ options, where list, and then change that to _1. Well, I can send it to you guys later.
Yeah, if you've
Okay.
got an example, I can include it in the minutes. We can send that out.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Hannah.
Yep, because because like this was like one of the questions that one of our clients had, and they wanted to get that done. So if we can get that done, then we don't even have to have our additional field here and button here and all that. So that would be great. Yep.
It's likely to something to
Thanks,
do with
Hannah.
data view. Like if you make a custom data view, I'm sure that will work. Like I said, when you get the
Okay.
_0 _1 things, like they get so confusing. I don't know which one's going to which.
Yeah.
But I'll let you continue.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, thank you so much, Hannah. And you always answer my questions even when I post something. So thank you for that also.
Sure.
Yeah. So, okay.
We've got
So,
one other question here before you start.
Okay.
From Ben, do Kinetic Dashboards have a method to have graphs and charts, not an uplifted dashboard, but on a Kinetic dashboard alone? Can I do anything with charts and graphs?
So I haven't tried that out. Like, if someone wanted that kind of a customization, I haven't tried that out. So I don't want to answer that like giving wrong information, but I haven't yet tried that out.
Cool, thank you.
So yeah. So the other thing that I wanted to show was the one of those questions that we were getting, like how to like highlight a row or a field kind of a thing that we used to do in Classic. We can do that here on our customization too. So we have these data rules here, and we can create our own new data rule here, and let's try to highlight a row. Let's try to highlight someone with their name information. So let me see. So, I think this was customer school. Am I looking at the correct one? Customer 00. Yeah. So select that data view, and then we can put in our new condition here. It says this dot. Let's select the name. We can say something like let's do equal to right now, and the name was that was the name. So let's select that, and then we can highlight the field here. We have these options, and I think just like on Classic, this is similar to that where an error is red and OK is green. I don't remember what these colors were, but let's take OK. Try and run this. Oops, what did I do? Okay. Almost have it joined. Yes, and again, I did the exact same thing before, and it worked. Okay, so at least get me out of here then. I'm field name, I said equals to So let's go ahead and create the rule again. And it's not really that difficult to create this view. It just wanted to prove me wrong on the presentation, that's why. But into this one, and then the name. Sorry, okay. So it actually changed the color. Let's put red. So we can see how it highlighted whatever rule that we wanted to set. And we can do this for a single column, or we can also do it for the whole row here. If we have to set that whole setting for the whole row, instead of just the field, what we'll do is just select the row. Now we have the condition met. It's going to highlight the complete row. So this is just like how we would have done on the classic. We have the row rules, which is like really a good way to highlight any rows that we want or fields that we want, kind of things. So let's see. So I wanted to uplift a dashboard, show some of the data rules, and show you a customization, simple customization. Like, do anyone have any questions or something that you would like to see? We can go ahead and do that over here on the dashboard. Okay, so Fred, did you have any questions coming up, or do you want me to create like a new customization and try something out? We could do that since we have a lot of time.
Yep, we're more than welcome. We do have one additional question that Mike also put out there. Can you hide that tracker view?
Can we hide
And
this out?
have the tracker be available from the overflow menu?
Okay. Let's try that out.
So the tracker does still show up.
But it did not. Tracker showed up, but oh, okay. Let's reset search. I don't know what happened.
Is that because we changed the bindings?
Oh, because we changed the bindings. Okay, let's remove that and try that out too. So let's binding here. We didn't change anything on the grid itself, right? No, we did not change anything here. We just put this new event. Let me try to delete this event for now.
Hannah was saying it's because you have it set for equals and that starts within the provider where clause.
But we didn't change anything here, right? Okay, Faye, go ahead and. I just want to see if that is making a difference. I thought it shouldn't.
Or putting in the whole name. Addison, Inc. or Dalton Manufacturing.
No, something on the tracker must have gotten messed up because the tracker itself is not working. What did we do? We didn't change anything here. So to answer that question, what we can do is, let me open my old dashboard and hide the filter here. So we know this filter worked here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and okay, so we can still hide that that little grid there and have our filter working. Yep, to answer your question, yes, we can do that.
And if you don't mind, I'm going to unmute Lisa McCarthy. She's got a hand raised. Lisa, you should be able to speak now. Are you there, Lisa?
Can you hear me?
There we
Yep.
go.
Yeah, I just had just a statement earlier when she was struggling to get her query to execute that she was putting in, like you mentioned earlier, she wasn't putting in the full customer name, and then she figured it out. So
Gotcha. Okay.
thanks.
Go ahead and lower your hand then. Thanks.
Okay.
All right, back to you, Priyanka. Sorry about that.
Yep, no problem. So, so this way we can get our dashboards uplifted. We can do our customizations, whatever we used to do on Classic. We can just do that same kind of customizations on Kinetic. It's just that the direct uplift is not happening. Just like all the other forms, like if we had some customization on order entry or something like that, and we want that to get uplifted, right now there's no way that it's gonna directly uplift all of that code. So we again have to go back to the Kinetic form and open App Studio and do our customizations there. So similarly, that's the same case for dashboard also.
Yeah, Priyanka, we also have a question from Kevin Barrow. Can we get a solution file after the user group meeting with all the samples?
Okay, yeah, I can send this dashboard,
Okay, we'll put that.
the BAQ and all that. Yep.
Perfect. We'll put that in the minutes of the meeting.
Okay. And then, okay, I don't know how we finished so early. I thought it would take us at least an hour and a half trying to do these dashboards, but the other thing that I wanted to show today was the trackers. So right now in classic version, what we used to do is if I had some customization going on order entry, like if I'm trying to add some new fields on the order entry screen, and trying to do something over there, I had to recreate the same thing on the order tracker as well. Like again, I had to go to the order tracker and create that same old field over there and things like that. So I basically kind of had to repeat the whole thing that I was doing on the on like the entry form on the tracker form also, whether it's for sales order, whether it's for quote, purchase order, or anything like that. I had to kind of redo the whole thing. So for that, in Kinetic, we don't have to do that anymore. We don't have to again go back and recreate or redo the same thing on tracker again. What happens right now is we use the same thing that we use for order entry for the tracker also, but the only difference would be you have to set that in read-only mode. So let me go ahead and show something here. So if I have something here on order entry, if I had kind of like a customization, oh, good, there's no customization. Okay, but yeah, let me open this in Kinetic. So if I have something like this, and then I want to go to the tracker and put up a customization here, all that I would have to do is pick the same customization that we have and everything on order entry on the order tracker also, but the only difference is it's going to be read-only over here. So this way it saves up the whole time of again redoing the whole thing on the trackers. So I found this really interesting because that wasn't the case on Classic. I had to kind of do the same thing on tracker, make it look the same way and all that. So this is really good on Kinetic. And when you go to menu maintenance, all you have to do is check on the read-only checkbox here. We still have a lot of time. Anybody have any more questions or they would like to see something else on the dashboards? We can go ahead and try that out.
I'm going to raise the question, Hannah, if you're still around. Have you done anything with graphs or graphics in dashboards? Let me see if Hannah's still around. I should have looked first.
Muted me. No, I haven't done graphs yet, but I have done like cool stuff with UI website widgets.
So you can bring in website widgets into dashboards?
Yeah, so one of the things I did for a client was they had a, they called it a rental monitor, and it had a Google Maps location. And I fed that to the website widget, and it showed kind of where it was in real time. Well, not real time, but.
Okay.
Awesome. So you can bring in web items as well. That's very cool.
So the thing to note with that is within the toolbox area, there's 3 tabs at the top of the toolbox. There's components, user defined, or widgets and user defined or something like that. The one in toolbox does not work. The one in widgets does work. And I don't know why it's in its own little thing.
Awesome. Thank you for the insight.
Sure.
And then I've got a question from Brian. For those of us that are not as familiar with App Studio, besides the user guide that Epicor provides, is there some other guide to assist in creating the customization you just created? And I think from my learning, all that is provided by Epicor is really that online help for Application Studio. And then Epi Users is a good resource to go to
Yes.
find information on how to work with Application Studio. Do you have other resources?
I use Epi Users a lot when I have questions like these and I'm trying out something over here and I'm stuck on something. I usually refer to Epi Users, and pretty much I've always got an answer. Or if we don't have an answer, we can just ask something there, and someone like Hannah usually replies back pretty soon. So. So you said the one on Toolbox doesn't work
Yeah, okay, so
for
at the top you see there's a components tab that you're currently on. The website widget within there doesn't work. It's possible that one's internal only, but that one does work, the one you're on now.
Okay, this one works. Okay.
Yeah. And some, like Google especially, doesn't like single origin stuff, so you have to put like an extra SV embed on there. It's all Googleable, but it's irritating.
Okay.
Excellent. Any other questions for dashboards? Or I guess we've kind of jumped into a little bit for Application Studio as well, whether it's converting the dashboard or things you can do with the dashboard.
Okay. Do you have any more suggestions, Fred, of what we can do? Like, I mean, I know main thing was getting these dashboards uplifted was like a really important thing for many users because you know, like some of them had these heavily customized dashboards, which right now is a problem because we have to kind of uplift the, I mean, like we have to recreate the customizations again. So
Yes, the customizations won't come over directly. The UI kind of does.
yes,
So you can get your layouts at least. Then if
at
you had
least, yeah.
anything specific behind stuff, you're going to have to go ahead and modify that inside of Application Studio to mimic that functionality. And that might be a little bit limited right now. It depends on what all you're doing and what capabilities the version of Application Studio has that you're in, because they keep expanding that functionality. So you might find something that doesn't work in an earlier version
One good
does
thing
work later.
that I
Go ahead.
sorry Fred to interrupt. So there was like this really good thing that I found on 2023 was when I was using the BAQ widget. I was really excited to see that they had included BAQ parameters over here, which wasn't there back in our other versions. So I haven't tried out anything yet, and I haven't yet seen like how the BAQ parameters are working, but this wasn't available in our previous version in 2022.2. So that's a really good thing that came up here.
Awesome. So there are improvements always being made to the tool. So don't think that just because something wasn't there in a version and then you upgrade, it's still not going to be there. You might want to check things out, keep track of what's being changed in those release notes. You might find something is available that you were looking for and didn't have previously. So that's really nice.
Yes, yes. And I think the earlier version before 2022 did not have many features because like when I was trying to uplift a dashboard there, it was getting really difficult for us. So I think in the newer versions, they've been looking more into these dashboard conversions and all that. So that's really
Great. And I do have a question from Mike, Priyanka, regarding layout. Can panels be side by side or is it just vertical? We've got dashboards with a published panel on the left and a subscribe panel on the right. So you can lay those out any way that you wish to. Well, not any way, but you've got some variability that you can do for those layouts.
So right now I haven't seen, that's a really good question because we had tried that out on a user system. What was happening was they had this really, they had many grids over here, and when we try to uplift them, usually they come up as tabs here. But right now I haven't found a way to, like use or edit this view however I want. Like if I want this tab to be right beside this customers tab, if I want the orders one to come up here, I haven't found a good way to do that. I don't even know if it's like possible right now in App Studio if we can do that.
Oh, okay.
But
You can do that.
yeah.
I thought
It's
you could
possible.
do the group boxes or something to get those into side by side. Hannah, I just heard you chime in here.
It's possible, yeah. You can you set the on the top right of the control, there's a little blue percentage symbol. It takes up like half the screen or 100% of the screen, and then you can set them both side by side using that. It's a bit wonky right now, though.
The
Top right of the
100%
grid,
over on the
yeah.
left.
Top right. Right on the panel grid.
Yeah, on the panel grid where it says 100% in sky blue.
It got stuck. Okay. Oh no! What did it do?
I have not found that to be a desirable method, by the way. Groups are okay if you shove them in 2 columns.
Okay.
I prefer to use like tabs, like old school Epicor. I'd say your best bet though is to get your users used to the card variation because that's very much what Kinetic is.
Yes. I mean that's what I had told them to, because this is how, like, whether it's the order screen or it's something else that you use, mostly this is how the look and feel of Kinetic is right now. So we may as well get used to that. So you said we can change it here.
Nope, it's not on the properties panel. It's on the actual panel on the working, yep, right there. You can set that to like 50%, and then you can set another grid next to it using the column thing, I believe it is, or a flex layout. I don't remember exactly, but it is possible.
Okay, if I use like 2 columns and then
if I recall, you set them both to 50% and then set the panels to be, I think it's called flex layouts, and I don't remember where that is. It's been a while since I've done this. I remember doing it once and immediately reverted it because I hated it.
okay. So if I do this to 50% too, how does it look here then?
And I can look back on my notes later. I can send that to Calvin to include in the meeting notes if people want to see that.
Okay, yeah, that would be really great to see how that is done. Because right now, if I put this to 50% and 50%, like right now it comes up the same thing, but I think I still have to put in the columns, right?
It's in the grid's properties under layout. There's a flex layout option, and you check that, and then you mess with something there, and magic happens at some point.
Okay.
Then a miracle occurs.
Like I said, it's been a long time since I've messed with this, and I don't have my notes on me, but.
Okay, that is something I can try that out then and see how that goes.
Yeah. Okay, it just worked on my screen. Okay, so if you set Where's your flex light? On the main panel, get out of the grid models, go back one level. It's in layouts right below that one. And then, oh, why don't you have that checkbox? I wonder if that's new. There should be a
Which
checkbox right
version are
below
you
there.
on?
I'm on 2023.1.5. I think that was new.
I'm on .4. Is that why?
I don't think so. It should be in 2023 in general.
So you're saying here we have another checkbox?
You should, yeah. Kelvin, let me send you a screenshot. All right, I sent it over.
I wonder why I don't have it. Oh, here
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
in your inbox.
Here it is.
Yep, that's the one. Okay, set that to, click that flex layout,
Okay.
and then set the grid right above it to 50% as well. Set the minimum width to 50% and the properties right above that too. Yep, right there. And that was supposed to stack on the screen. You should be seeing it right now. Is the other one as flex too?
Oh,
Oh, there it
yeah,
goes.
okay.
Maybe they just updated it later
Okay.
to show in the designer view. But yeah, like I said, it's kind of ugly and small, and I don't know. Do with that what you will.
Yeah. But I think that at least answers the question that one of our users had, that like they wanted it to be like, you know, how on the classic version we have all this beside each other kind of a thing. But okay, at least I know it's possible then. Great.
Awesome. Any other questions out there? Wait a few seconds in case anybody's got questions. I'll do my standard. If you've got questions for Stump the Chump, you can also type those into the questions. And please do answer the surveys that get sent out after the meeting is done, so we can help guide the next meetings for content and such. And also, in case you're wondering, yes, the meetings are recorded, and we'll get those out onto the YouTube channel, as well as written minutes out. As soon as I can get them converted, it just takes me a little bit with everything going on here. So, all right. I don't see any more questions. Calvin or Priyanka or Hannah, do you guys have anything you want to add in?
Pretty good. I've been educated.
I will say after like doing a bunch of uplifts, there's not much that I can't do at this point. I haven't touched charts yet. I'll go play with those. Maybe that'll bug me out, but you definitely want to move everything you can to functions on the back end, and then only keep the UI stuff in App Studio, and then you should be set.
Perfect. That's about what I've been finding too, is just make sure that the UI is what you're doing App Studio for. That's all it's really designed for, and everything else should go to functions BPMs. And even with the BPMs, use functions behind them so that you can reuse them. Got a question for Stump the Chump. Awesome, Graham. I'll have that added in. I'll have Calvin take that one.
Is that what I'm typing super fast right now?
All right, if there's no other questions, we'll go ahead and end a little bit early. Awesome. Everybody gets a little bit longer lunch. And we will start back up. I believe the next session's at 12:30. So we'll start then and with the multi-version upgrades with Kevin Molinex.